and welcome to Electrogo, electrogo.com.au. We are the electroluminescent specialists and we've been in business since 2004. We last did a video showing you how you can put together a Cora costume, and we promised you more videos, so here's the first one in the series of Finn videos. So we've got a couple of Finn pieces here to light up your Finn costume with. These are the two basic chest pieces. I do think something's missing, I'm sure you agree. It's just one little midline piece that's missing, which is here. You'll see that all EL panels have an amount of flexibility and they're all very lightweight. So it's easy for you to fix them onto your costume with, say, sticky Velcro tabs, something like that. Just show you the reverse of them. And this is where the electrical current actually goes in to the panel. But don't worry, it's all sealed and laminated, so you're not going to get any problems with it. Okay, so let me put them back the right way. Now you need to power up these panels. You're going to need an inverter. An inverter changes the current from your power source into a particular voltage and a particular frequency. Generally the voltage is 110, the frequency is around 400 to 1200 Hertz. So I'm going to show you how you do that. You will need this unit here. This is called an inverter. This particular one's got a setting for on, off and flash, just with this sliding button. It requires a 12 volts power to travel into the inverter. That's what these black and red lines represent. So, in order to give the inverter some power, we've got a little battery casing here. Basically there's 8 AA batteries. They're all 1.5 volts. 8 times 1.5, 12 volts. That's how you get your 12 volts to travel into your inverter. Your inverter then changes the voltage to 110 volts AC. The 110 volts AC comes out the end of here and then enters one of your panels. Now you might be wondering, how am I going to power all 3 of these from one single little connection point? I'll show you how. I'll just move this out the way. Okay, so to get the power into 3 of them, you actually need to convert it into having 3 connection points. This little unit here is called a splitter. So you have 3 outlets that push the power out to the panel, and you have 1 inlet that receives the power from the inverter. So I'm going to put these together now. So this lead here in my right hand is coming from the inverter. This one is going to lead into the panels. I just line them up, push them together, and you hear a little click. That's good, that's a good solid connection. Never leave it half in, half out. Then we go along to the end of these, and we're going to plug each of these panels into one of these connectors. Exactly the same thing. Line them up, click. Oh, it was already powered on. Just a word of warning about those inverters. I just made a classic mistake. I left the inverter powered on. We know that because you can see they're lighting up. It's a really bad move to leave them powered on. More than about 10-15 minutes and you're going to have problems because the inverter has nowhere to send the power. It'll be sending the power out here, and if these are not connected, it's got nowhere to go. And what does it do? It travels all the way back down, back into your inverter, and your inverter burns. So be really, really careful with that. Alright, so I just put these here. Classic Finn. Now you may be thinking, okay, I want to think about the back of my clothing. I want to look good on the back as well. That's fine. We've also got this little unit here. That's like the identity disc. And in this instance, let me clear them out of the way to make it a bit easier to see. I'm powering this from one unit. And we do actually sell these inverter units with the big ring. We can sell them as one piece, or you can have the ring as part of the kit. It just really depends on your budget, because if you're having it as a separate powered unit, it's going to be more expensive. So I'm just going to show you how to include this one on your whole kit. Okay, so a minute ago you were looking at these 3 pieces illuminated, but we decided we wanted to add the large ring, which is going to be at the back of the body. So we now need another place in which we can plug one of our EL panels. Obviously this 3-way connection port is not going to work, So we will use a different one. Almost the same thing, except that now it's got 4 places. So once again, I'll show you again. Connect. 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 Okay, so we have one free strand. Incidentally, if you received one of these, you ordered one of these, and you actually didn't want to use this until a later date, it's no problem. You can just put a little bit of electrical tape, something to seal it off so that the current doesn't trickle out. Generally speaking, you can touch this, no problem. It does have a current in it, but there's no problem. As long as your hands are not wet, the electricity is not going to travel through. Alright, so now we want to put on our large loop or a large ring, which we can do by connecting here, but we have a bit of a dilemma because this should be on the back of the costume. So we're going to add on another component. I'm just going to push them out of the way. So we do want this connection, but we want to create some distance. We can do that by using this long extender wire. So the extender wire is basically a long piece of wire that will carry the current and has 2 connections, a male and a female at either end. So this male goes to that female, this female goes to the male, which is coming out of the EL panel. I'll do that connection. Click. Click. Okay. It's a bit hard to show you, but basically all these pieces will be on the front. And the inverter, maybe you'll position that somewhere around your hip pocket. And then you have a long extension of wire, giving you plenty of room so that you can then put this disc on your back. So you can see them all sitting together. I'm just going to group them like that. And that's basically your Flynn costume. I'm going to put them on top of a black t-shirt. Okay, so here's your Flynn pieces all lit up, sitting on a black long sleeve top. Just to give you an idea of the sizes, this here is a 30 centimetre or 12-inch ruler. So you've got just over about 40, just under 40 centimetres. And don't forget the last piece, which is here. I'll show you there's plenty of wire for you to actually lead that around to the back. So that one will be sitting somewhere on the back of your shirt.